A baby, a cat, and a dog share a bed. It was the kind of night where everything was still. The kind of night where the soft rustle of the wind outside seemed to hush the entire house. Inside, however, chaos was just beginning to unfold, at least, in the most adorable way possible. Lily, only a few months old, had just finished her evening bottle and was nestled in her crib. The lights were dim, the house quiet except for the occasional creak of the old wooden floorboards. But Lily wasn't the only one ready for bed. Her cat, Whiskers, and her dog Max both had their own ideas about where they should sleep that night. Whiskers, the proud feline ruler of the household, had always been a creature of habit. She had her spot, right at the foot of the bed, under the window. Whiskers had never once considered sharing this space with anyone, let alone a baby or a noisy, slobbery dog. But tonight was different. Max, the overenthusiastic golden retriever, had his own bed, tucked in the corner of the room. But like most dogs, he loved to be close to the family, and ever since Lily was born, he had taken to lying by her crib, guarding her like a loyal protector. But tonight, the temptation was too great. Max padded over to the bed, his tail wagging. "Max, no," came a gentle voice from across the room. It was Lily's mom, who had just finished tucking her into bed. "You need to sleep in your own bed, buddy." Max, however, was not one to be deterred. He gave his signature whine, a soft, pleading sound, and gently nudged Lily's crib with his nose, as though asking for permission to stay by her side. Meanwhile, Whiskers watched the unfolding drama with growing irritation from her spot on the windowsill. Her golden eyes narrowed as she saw Max's tail wagging furiously at the edge of the bed. She had been the queen of the house for years, her kingdom perfectly ordered with no room for dogs, especially not one that slobbered and jumped around at all hours. With a haughty flick of her tail, Whiskers leapt off the windowsill and gracefully padded toward the bed. She sauntered up to Max, who was now standing on his hind legs, trying to get a better look at the baby in her crib. Whiskers' eyes flashed as she leaped up onto the bed, determined to reclaim her space. She landed with a soft thud, pushing Max out of the way with a well-timed swipe of her paw. Max, startled, stepped back, but then he looked up at her with that silly, eager grin. "Not tonight, Max," Whiskers muttered, in the language only she understood. She made herself comfortable, curling into a tight ball on the bed, near the pillow where Lily's mom usually slept. The dog, defeated for now, flopped down at the foot of the bed. But as the minutes ticked by, Whiskers began to realize something. Lily's room wasn't just quiet. It was warm and cozy, and she could hear the soft, rhythmic sound of the baby's breathing. And she could hear something else, too. Max's slow, steady breathing as he curled up at the foot of the bed, his soft fur brushing against her paws. Suddenly, the bed seemed bigger. Whiskers wasn't alone in her little corner anymore. But somehow, it didn't seem as bad as she had imagined. The warmth of Max's body and the gentle sound of Lily's baby coos filled the room in a way that felt almost comforting. Maybe, just maybe, sharing the bed with these two wouldn't be the end of her reign as the household queen. Just then, Lily's small, chubby hand reached out from the crib, grasping at the air as if searching for something. Max, ever the protector, raised his head at the sound and gently padded over to the crib, his large, soft body a perfect counterpoint to Lily's tiny frame. Whiskers watched, her tail flicking slightly, as Max settled by the crib, looking up at Lily with a look of deep devotion. Lily giggled softly, her eyes brightening as she gazed down at Max. Her tiny fingers reached out, and Max lowered his head so she could grab a handful of his fur.